The child from nowhere, asterisk. The cold wind of Delta Station whistled through the steel corridors as Leo adjusted his tool bag. The outer ring was quiet, too quiet. He had come to fix a minor power flicker near Dock 9, but something felt off. The hallway lights blinked, flickered again, and went dark for a second. He tapped the side of his helmet light. Come on, don't start now. As he reached the panel, he noticed movement at the edge of the corridor. Small footsteps. Then a shadow. Slowly, from behind a storage crate, something stepped out. Dot. It was a child. But not human. Dot. Its skin was soft. Gray, with tiny spots of light blue across its arms. Large black eyes shimmered under the helmet light. Its small hands clutched a blanket tightly around its thin body. And then, without a word, it ran straight toward Leo and hugged him. Leo froze. He didn't move. He didn't even breathe. The alien child buried its face into his coat, arms wrapped tight around his waist, like it had found someone it had been searching for forever. Leo didn't know what to do. He gently placed his gloved hands on its shoulders and looked around. No signs of a parent, no translator device, no guards, no security alert. How had it gotten here? Hey, ... Hey, little one, he said slowly. Where's your family? They... Child looked up. Its eyes were wide, sad, silent. Then it did something that shook Leo, deeper than any war or machine ever had. Pointed at his chest and whispered a single word. Home. Leo stepped back slightly. No, I think you're confused. I'm not your family. But the child didn't let go. Moments later, Leo's wristcom buzzed. It was a message from Control. Be advised. Security lockdown in progress. Unknown. Life form escaped from quarantine vessel docked at Bay 12. Suspect may be dangerous. Leo looked down at the small figure still clinging to him. This was the dangerous life form? It looked no older than 6 or 7, but it wasn't human. And it seemed scared. Not dangerous. Leo whispered to himself. What the hell is going on? He tapped his comm and replied, I found something or someone. Small alien child. Seems lost, not a threat. There was silence. Then a stern voice responded. Remain where you are. Do not engage further. Squad is en route. Leo frowned. He looked back down. The child still held him tightly, as if letting go would mean losing everything. You don't seem like a threat, Leo whispered, more to himself. And anyone. He crouched down. What's your name? The child touched its own chest and said a name. It was soft, alien sounding, but Leo couldn't pronounce it. He just nodded. Okay, I'll call you Star for now. Until we figure things out. Sirens began too. Sound far off. The lockdown lights flashed red across the corridor. Heavy boots echoed from down the hall. Star's grip tightened. There was fear now. Trembling. Leo stood, instinct rising inside him. Something told him this wasn't right. Why would a child run toward a human like this? Why did it call him home? And why did he suddenly feel the need to protect it? He turned, shielding Star with his body as armed security approached. From this moment forward, everything would change. He just didn't know how yet. Orders and doubts. Step away from the creature. The order rang through the corridor as 3 armed guards surrounded Leo, weapons raised. Their armor shimmered with station colors, but their faces were hard and cold. Leo slowly raised his hands, but kept himself between them and the child. She's not dangerous, he said calmly. She's just scared. The leader of the squad, a woman with a metal patch across her jaw, didn't lower her weapon. Quarantine Vessel 12 reported a breach. 1 escaped subject unknown species, possible psychic traits. Protocol says, secure or terminate. Terminate? Leo echoed, eyes wide. It's a kid. Behind him, the small alien whom he had named Star clutched his coat again. She didn't cry. She didn't scream. But her tiny body shook like a leaf. She ran to me, Leo said. She hugged me like I was family. Does that sound like a threat to you? She's not your family, the guard snapped. You don't even know what species she is. I don't need to, Leo growled. I know what fear looks like, and I know what trust feels like. She trusted me. For a moment, silence filled the hallway. The blinking red lights painted everything in hue. Warning shades. The guards exchanged quick glances. One of them, a younger man, shifted uncomfortably. He lowered his rifle slightly. Stand down, Leo said to them all. I'm taking her to medical, not the labs. You want to stop me? You'll need a damn good reason. You're not authorized to... A soft voice interrupted them. Please, don't let them take me. It was Star. Her voice, broken and barely above a whisper, was full of emotion. It made the youngest guard freeze completely. Even the commander blinked. How do you know our language? The guard asked sharply. I? Don't, Star said, eyes wide. I only speak what he feels. The corridor went still. Leo turned and looked at her. You're reading my thoughts? She nodded slowly. Not thoughts. Just ... your heart. The guards didn't move. Enough of this, the commander growled. She raised her rifle again. Step away. Last warning. Leo looked down at Star, then back at the guards. No, he said firmly. The commander didn't fire. She stared at Leo for a long moment and lowered her weapon. You've got 12 hours, she muttered. Take her. Figure out what she is. But if we find out you're compromised, we'll come back with more than rifles. Leo nodded. He picked Star up gently, and she rested her head against his shoulder like she had always belonged there. As he walked away, the guards slowly stepped aside. The younger one gave him a quiet nod. The medical bay was dimly lit. Machines hummed softly in the background. A single nurse, old and wise, looked at Star with tired eyes. She's not listed in any galactic record, the nurse said, scanning data on her pad. Not in the station logs either. She's completely unregistered. It's like she doesn't exist. Leo sat beside Star, who was curled up on the bed, holding his glove like a stuffed toy. She called me home, he said. What does that mean? The nurse looked at him, then sat beside him. Sometimes, she said slowly, children don't need a reason to love someone. Sometimes they just know. Leo looked at the small girl beside him, the way she had trusted him instantly, the way she held on to him like he was her only anchor in the galaxy. Still, the nurse added, you should be careful. Whatever she is, there's something about her. Something deep. Maybe something old. Old? Leo frowned. The nurse only nodded and stood. Leo stayed behind. He looked at Star. Her eyes were already closed. She was asleep, peaceful. He brushed a hand over her soft gray hair. Whatever was happening, he wasn't walking away from it. Not. Now, not after that hug. Whispers in the dark. The lights in the medical bay dimmed as night mode activated. Outside the wide station windows, stars drifted like slow fireflies. Leo sat in the corner, still in his uniform, boots on, not willing to sleep. Star was curled up under a blanket, breathing softly. A soft glow pulsed from her chest, faint blue, steady and slow, like a heartbeat. He hadn't noticed it before. It wasn't mechanical. It seemed natural. He whispered to himself, "What are you, kid?" Suddenly, the air shifted. A cold breeze brushed over his neck. Even though the bay was sealed. He stood up slowly, eyes scanning the shadows. Then he heard it. A whisper, not in words, not in sound, but in his mind. "Protector, Leo turned sharply. No one was there. He looked back at Star, but she hadn't moved. The glow in her chest remained steady. He walked to the med console. The nurse had gone off duty, but the scans were still up. He leaned over the screen. Subject, unknown DNA match, 12%. Human-like structure energy readings. Unstable cognitive response. Connected, emotion-based detection. Emotion-based detection. Leo rubbed his temples. Nothing about this made sense. A species that responded to feelings? He pulled up the last recording from station log, something the security guard hadn't mentioned. The moment the quarantine ship arrived, footage showed containment pods. One had broken open during docking. A shape slipped out a child-sized figure dot. No violence, not just escape dot star dot. But as he watched further, something else caught his eye. An old video feed. Years old. A war zone. Alien battlefield. Human soldiers surrounded by fire. One of the troopers was holding something small. A child? He zoomed in. The same eyes. Same soft blue glow dot. No, it couldn't be. This child was the same. But that war had been 9 years ago. Dot Star shifted in the bed and whispered, "You saw it." Leo looked up. She was awake. Her black eyes shimmered, not with fear, but with sadness. "You saw the past," she said softly. That wasn't the first time. Leo slowly walked to her. "How are you still the same? You should be older." "I don't age like you do," she whispered. "We come from far outside, beyond what you call space. My kind, we are made of thought, of memory." Leo's chest tightened. He didn't understand, not fully, but something about her voice was so real, so painful. "We were never meant to be alone," she added. "I was sent to find someone. Someone who would care." He knelt beside her. "Why me?" Star didn't answer right away. She reached out and touched his chest, right over his heart. "Because you lost someone. Once, a sister. You remember what it feels like to protect." Leo's eyes widened. No one knew that. Not even the crew. He looked into her eyes. "You're not just reading my thoughts." "No," Star said. "I'm connected to you. That's why I hugged you. That's why I found you." Leo leaned back, trying to breathe. The memory she touched was buried deep his little sister, gone years ago in a shuttle accident. "How do you know all this?" he asked. But she was quiet now. Too quiet. Her skin dimmed slightly. The blue glow weakened. "Hey, what's wrong?" he asked quickly. Star looked exhausted. "They're coming," she whispered. Leo stood instantly. "Who?" She barely replied. "The ones who made us. They know him. Here, they don't want me to feel love." The comms panel buzzed sharply. Leo rushed to it. "Control to Med Bay. Unknown energy spike near the outer hull. Something just dropped out of slip space. No ID. Be ready." Leo froze. This wasn't over. Whatever Star was hiding, whoever was after her, they were almost here. And Leo realized one thing with absolute clarity. He wouldn't let them take her. Visitors from the void, asterisk, the floor trembled softly as something massive docked with Delta Station. Leo stood still in the corner of the medbay, watching the alert lights flash red again. Star lay on the medical bed, eyes closed but not asleep, breathing slow, like she was saving her strength. Outside, the hallway, footsteps echoed. Not human ones. They were heavy, uneven, and sounded like metal scraping against stone. The station's auto systems crackled with static. Leo stepped to the door, locked it, and reinforced it with a nearby storage unit. He turned back to Star. "You need to tell me who's coming." Star slowly opened her eyes. "They call themselves the Keepers. They once watched the galaxy. But over time, they forgot why. Leo frowned. And now? They don't believe in love or kindness, she said, softly. To them, emotions are dangerous. They wanted to erase them from us. But I ran. Leo moved beside her. Why? She looked up at him. Because I wanted to feel something real. I wanted family. A loud thud slammed into the medbay door. Leo flinched. Something heavy was out there. Another thud. Then a slow grinding sound, like claws on metal. Star sat up weakly. Her skin was dim now, her glow flickering. They're here for me. Then they'll have to go through me first, Leo said, voice hardening. Suddenly, the medbay lights flickered and cut out. Darkness swallowed the room. Then. Blue light. It was coming from Star. She was glowing again, but different now. Brighter, pulsing in waves. Her hands shook slightly, but she stayed calm. Leo grabbed a plasma cutter from the wall. You stay close. If anything comes through that door. A metal spike tore through the center of the door. Leo leapt in front of Star. Weapon raised. The door was sliced open like paper. Then it fell to the ground with a crash. 3 figures stepped inside. They were tall, almost too tall for the corridor. Their bodies were smooth and dark like obsidian, but their faces were blank, no eyes, no mouths. Just masks of polished black stone. Energy pulsed through their limbs. Leo raised the cutter. Stay back. They didn't respond. They only walked forward slow and silent. Then Star stepped beside Leo. Her glow flared brighter. I am not going back, she said clearly. One of the creatures tilted its head. Then, for the first time, a sound came low, vibrating words that echoed through the walls. You were created for balance. Emotion leads to chaos. Return and be made whole. Star trembled, but Leo put a hand on her shoulder. She belongs with us now. You are not her kind. Leo didn't step back. Doesn't matter. I chose to protect her. Isn't that what makes us family? For a moment, silence. Then a beam of dark energy shot toward them. Leo pushed Star behind him, ready to take the young. Hit, but the beam stopped frozen mid-air. Star had raised her hand. The glow from her chest had grown strong, shining like a star. Her eyes lit up with the same light. No more control, she said softly. No more fear. The energy reversed. The keepers staggered. Their black forms cracked. One of them let out a strange sound, a shattering scream, without a mouth. Stared in disbelief. Star was protecting him, and she was powerful. The keepers turned and retreated, disappearing into the hallway without another word. Their forms dissolved into smoke and sparks. Then it was quiet again. Leo dropped his cutter. Star collapsed into his arms. Her glow faded, and she whispered, I didn't mean to show you all of it. But now they know who you are too. What do you mean? Leo asked, holding her close. She looked up weakly. You're not just a protector. You're one of the last hearts they can't control. Leo had no idea what that meant, but he knew one thing. This child had changed everything, and the galaxy was watching now. Asterisk. The memory she shared, asterisk, Leo gently carried Star back to the medical bed. Her body was light, almost too light, and her glow had dimmed to the faintest shimmer. Machines in the room hummed quietly, but none could read her vitals. She was beyond human tech. He laid her down carefully, brushing a soft strand of her silvery hair aside. Her eyes opened slowly. She smiled weakly. You stayed, she whispered. Of course I did, Leo replied. I told you, I'm not letting anyone take you. Star blinked slowly. Then, I want to show you something. Leo pulled up a chair and sat close. What is it? My memory, she said. Before he could ask how, she placed her small hand against his chest, just over his heart. Instantly, Everything around him vanished. He was no longer in the med bay. He stood in a vast silver forest under twin suns. The air shimmered with soft light. Giant crystal trees hummed like wind chimes. Creatures with wings made of stars danced in the sky. And at the center, he saw her, a younger star, sitting with others of her kind. But their eyes were dull, and their faces cold. They spoke no words. They only followed instructions from glowing towers. She came from a place where emotions were forbidden. A voice whispered through the vision. No laughter, no hugs, no warmth, only order. Leo turned in the vision and saw a tall figure, a dark keeper floating above a group of children. Star was among them, being tested, scanned, judged. She showed too much curiosity, the voice said. Too much heart. Then he saw its Star reaching for a flower, something beautiful. The other children ignored it. She smiled. But a keeper struck her with a beam of light. Not to hurt her, but to erase the moment. Still, she remembered. She began to dream of something else. A place where love was real. Where hugs meant safety. Leo felt a pull. The vision shifted. Now Star was alone in a dark chamber. A voice echoed over her. You will forget. But she resisted. She whispered one word into the void. Family. And then she escaped. The scene melted away. Leo was back in the medbay, gasping. He looked at her in silence. She had shown him everything. You were alone, he said quietly. Star nodded. Until I found you. Leo struggled to speak. The weight of Gova, what she had carried, the pain of being so different, so unwanted, he had felt all of it. And now he finally understood why she had hugged him without hesitation. She had chosen him, not because of species, not because of blood, because of heart. But then Star's face grew serious. They're not done, she whispered. The keepers. No, you helped me. They'll return, not just for me, but for others like me. Leo frowned. There are more of you? Star nodded slowly. Scattered, hiding, some are already in danger. Leo stood, pacing the room. His heart pounded. Now, not with fear but purpose. If that's true, then we can't just sit here. We need to warn Earth, the Council, someone. No, Star said. They won't listen. They'll be afraid. You have to show them. Leo stopped walking. Show them what? Star looked up at him. That love is stronger than fear. There was silence between them. Deep, heavy. Then Leo crouched beside her again. I don't know how to fight something like the Keepers, he admitted. But I'll fight for you, for your kind, for anyone they want to erase. Star reached for his hand. And for the first time since her arrival, her glow returned, steady, strong, like a small sun warming the room. Suddenly, the station crackled. This is Control. Leo, report. We just detected a strange signal burst from Medbay. You okay? Leo stared at the speaker. Then he looked at Star. He pressed the button and replied calmly, We're not just okay. He paused. We're getting ready. A heart that fights, asterisk. The next day arrived faster than Leo expected. The artificial station lights hummed on, replacing the cold glow of stars. But something had changed in him and in Star. She stood beside him now, fully awake, her glow steady and brighter than ever before. She wasn't hiding anymore. Leo walked into the station's command room with her at his side. Officers stared. Some whispered. A few reached for their sidearms, but Star's calm presence kept them frozen. Captain Reed stepped forward, arms crossed. Leo, what is this? She's the one who triggered the alarms, and the same species that attacked Bay 12. Leo nodded. She's also the one who saved my life, And she's not alone. The captain narrowed his eyes. You're asking. Used to trust an unknown alien child who just lit up our station like a beacon. No, Leo said calmly. I'm asking you to trust me. He looked around the room. She's not dangerous. She's different. The ones who are coming, they erase love. They erase choice. If they reach Earth or any other peaceful world, they'll tear out everything that makes us human. A few officers looked uncertain. Star stepped forward. They don't fear your weapons. They fear your hearts. One officer scoffed. Hearts? Feelings don't win wars. Leo turned toward him. Maybe not, but they start the ones worth fighting for. There was silence. Then Captain Reed walked closer. So what do you propose, Leo? We prepare, Leo said. The keepers are coming, not just for her, but for everyone like her, beings with hearts, with feelings, with memories. They want to erase hope. We won't let them. And how? Are we supposed to fight beings that bend light and thought? The captain asked. Star raised her hand. A small light appeared in the air. It floated like a tiny star, warm and bright. This is what they fear, she said softly. Connection. I can help others feel what I feel, not control share. If we work together, I can link those willing to resist. Leo looked at the captain. Give her access to our systems. She can broadcast to others like her. We might not win with guns alone, but we can gather hearts. Hours later, a message was sent across unmonitored channels. Star sat in the center of the communications hub, surrounded by glowing circuits. Her voice echoed gently through the galaxy. If you are like me, if you remember kindness, warmth, or dreams come, there's someone waiting. You are not alone. Leo watched the transmission reach deep space. Silence followed. Then, ping. Another dot, and another dot. Tiny signatures began to light up the screen. At first, just 5. Then 12. Then more. Dozens of others, like Star, hidden in refugee stations, mining colonies, derelict ships waiting, hiding. Now, answering. Captain Reed stared in disbelief. They were real. Leo nodded. And now they know they're not alone. But before anyone could celebrate, a warning siren howled across the command deck. Slip space distortion, an officer shouted. Something massive just arrived at the edge of the system. On screen, a shape emerged from the void. Dark, colossal, silent, a keeper ship. Star's glow dimmed slightly. They've found us. Leo's jaw clenched. Then we stand. Captain Reed looked at him. You're not a soldier anymore, Leo. No, he said. But I remember why we fight. He looked at Star. She was scared, but not alone this time. We fight to protect what matters. A message came through. From the enemy ship. But it wasn't a voice. It was a pulse. A psychic wave. Everyone on the command deck shivered. Some cried. Some froze. Pain. Cold. Loss. Emptiness. Star stepped forward. Her glow pulsed. She raised her hands. A soft wave of light spread across the room. The fear melted. People could breathe again. Leo stepped beside her. This is humanity's gift, he whispered. We feel, and that's what makes us strong. The final battle hadn't begun yet, but Leo knew the galaxy was watching, and for the first time, they had hope. When the heart speaks, the keeper ship hovered outside Delta Station, massive and silent. It blocked starlight like a dark moon. Inside the station, people held their breath. Soldiers stood ready. Medical teams prepared for the worst. And in the center of it all, Leo and Star waited. Star's glow was steady now. She stood tall, even, though she was still small. Her eyes were calm, but Leo could feel the storm behind them. Are you sure about this? Leo asked. Star nodded. They don't understand words. But they will understand my heart. Leo stepped closer. And I'll go with you. They walked to the main deck where the transmission array stood. Engineers cleared the path. A wide screen displayed the keeper ship still waiting. Still watching. Captain Reed's voice echoed through the speakers. Final warning has been given. If they attack, we return fire. No, Leo replied into the mic. Let her try first. The screen blinked. Then a strange figure appeared. One of the keepers. Its face was black glass. Its body shimmered like shadows wrapped in armor. It didn't move like a living thing. It floated silent and still. You have broken the silence. The voice came, not through speakers, but into their minds. She was made to observe, not to feel. Return her, or be erased. Star stepped forward. Her glow grew. No, she said. The keeper tilted its head. You don't own my heart. The room grew cold. The screens flickered. All around them, the station felt like it was freezing in time. Leo grabbed Star's hand, and then something unexpected happened. Across the star map, hundreds of tiny lights appeared. Signals. From deep space. From hidden corners. From planets and broken satellites. Other children. Other beings like Star. All glowing, all responding. They weren't weapons. They were hearts. Leo stared in awe. They heard you, he whispered. Star nodded. Her voice was small but powerful. We remember love. We remember safety. You can't erase that. The keeper's glassy face cracked slightly. A tremble ran through its form. Emotion is weakness. No. Leo stepped forward. No. Emotion is what makes us fight when we're tired. It makes us stand up when we're broken. Emotion is why we protect. Suddenly, the keeper ship began to shift. Energy built up around it. They're preparing to attack. A tech shouted, "Power up shields." But Captain yelled. But Star raised her hands. Wait, Leo said, trusting her. A wave of light erupted from her chest, not sharp or violent, but warm, gentle. It flowed into the air like music. It passed through the walls, the floors, the space between. It touched the keeper ship. There was silence. Then, the ship stopped glowing. Its sharp energy faded, and slowly, the vessel began to withdraw. Leo stared in disbelief. What? What just happened? Star looked up. They felt it. Just for a second. What we feel. And it scared them more than war ever could. Leo laughed softly, shaking his head. You won without firing a shot. She smiled. That's what family does. 3 days later, Delta Station was buzzing with life. Star was no longer hidden. She walked freely, others greeting her with waves and curious smiles. Some of the other Star children had arrived, quiet and glowing, standing beside the humans who welcomed them. Captain Reed joined Leo by the window. You still planning to go with her? He asked. Leo nodded. She's not just a kid. She's the beginning of something bigger. You think others will come? Leo smiled. I think they already are. Later that evening, in the quiet of the docking bay, Leo stood beside Star. As the small vessel powered up, he crouched beside her. You ready? She nodded, gripping a tiny pack. Where we go next, she said. We help more of them. Leo reached into his pocket and handed her a small patcha, cloth symbol from Earth. A tiny blue globe on a white field. She held it like treasure. Thank you, she whispered. For what? For being my first home. He smiled, heart full. Then, they boarded. And as the ship lifted from Delta Station, heading toward the stars, the message was clear across the galaxy. They came as strangers, but now, they are family. Asterisk, asterisk.